Hello, my name's Miranda and welcome to my Flosstube number 3 video. Thank you to everyone who commented and got in touch because of my last video, and hello to those who have come back to view this one, and hello to those who have never watched anything before. Thank you for being here and I hope you enjoy the video. The first thing I want to mention though is that a fellow floss tuber is having a bit of a tough time at the moment. Her name's Teresa Little Stitcher, and it might be nice to just pop over there and give her some love and encouragement, because what's happened is that her little dog has passed away, and his name is Fudge, and he was actually her stitching partner. So whenever she would sit down and stitch, he used to be there on her lap or by her side. And I know she's struggling a little bit, so perhaps a few words of comfort from people might help a little bit. So Teresa Little Stitcher, I'll put a link to her channel in the description below. So now I have a finish, and what the finish is the sampler that I designed myself, my first sampler ever, and I'll just slot a clip in here just to let you know what it was like before. And here it is now, fully finished. Well, I say fully finished, I would like actually to do some sort of fancy border around the edge, but this is what I wanted to finish in 2021, so this is the 2021 bit. So what we have here, we have castle, cat, owl, dragonfly, bird, elephant. I redid the paw print because it looked too weird before and it didn't fit in very well. Over here I have done a planet. Can you see that? It has a ring round it. It could be Saturn, however, did you know that Uranus has rings? So I'm going to make that as Uranus for my channel. We've got a rabbit, we have a mouse on one side. Where's the mouse gone? Oh, there, below the rabbit. Another cat, a deer, some mountains, cactus. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with it actually. It's come out better than I expected. I wasn't quite sure what to expect really, because I plotted it out on graph paper and I didn't know quite how it would transfer onto actual fabric. This is 18 count Ada. I don't know what the name of the colour is. It's and no, I haven't ironed it. There. I never really display my cross stitch anywhere. I don't put it up on the wall. Perhaps I should, I don't know. But yeah, so there's that finish. Now I'm going to do next another sampler because my aunt has asked me to do her one, so I shall do that. It'll be completely different to this one, different words. I'm not quite sure what to do yet, but I'll have a look and see what she wants me to do. So that will be the next one in progress. So now the next WIP, or works in progress, that I have is this one here. Cat, let me move the threads out the way. This little cat bookmark. I haven't put a what it looked like before image because I'd done literally 14 stitches of grey, so there was nothing much to see there. But that's the cat. This is going to be the cat one, obviously, bookmark, Vivaco bookmark. So yeah, I've done quite a lot really. I'm quite pleased with how that's working out. I don't really like stitching, well, say I don't like stitching white, but I find my white stitches look a little bit untidy. I'm not quite sure why, but well, perhaps it's because I'm untidy. But yeah, So that one's coming on okay, quite pleased with that. This one's on 14 count Ada, I believe. That's what it looks like to me. Right, another one I have is the cat on the bookshelf WIP that I was doing, and I'll put in here the before image. And this is it now. So I've done the shelf all the way along the top. In fact, this piece is a complete page finish. So with back stitching and everything, pretty much. So I've done the cat's face, filled in the books, and yeah. So that is that. And this is actually, it's got another page this size kind of below it, and then two smaller pages down the side. So that one is, like I said, a page finish and pretty much probably about 2/3 way through the pattern. Now what I'm going to do is retire this piece for now, because I want to get on with another one. This one is on 14 count Ada as well. But yes, I'm going to put this aside for now, and I'm going to start another one. Or rather, I'm going to continue with another one. I already started it, but I'm going to really get going with it because I really want to get it done. So it's the flowery steps, if I can find where I have it. Here it is. The flowery steps pattern, which is really pretty. I like that one. So I'll slot in here an image of the before. And here it is now. So I'm actually really enjoying this. I'm loving it. So I've done actually some of the railings that you can see in the picture. The coverage is really good. It's 14 count Ada, I believe. Yes. And the coverage is really nice and thick. No gaps. So yes, so that's one that I'm doing and getting on quite well with. Lots of confetti type stitching, but I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, I'm a middle starter, so I do it the old-fashioned way. I fold the cloth into quarters and find the start and grid it accordingly. I'm a middle starter because I don't really trust my calculations when gridding, so I'm always afraid I will run out of fabric if I've gridded wrong or something. So yeah, I'm starting in the middle and work my way outwards. I've tried lots of different methods. The parking method, where you just stitch one square and then you park the threads where they are in the next square, and here sort of cross country as well, where I just stitch and stitch until either reach the edge or the thread runs out or whatever. I do try to keep it starting from the center and spreading outwards, using a bit of the both techniques, and I do find working in hoops easier and than stitching in hand. I've tried the sewing technique, I think it's called, where you actually just hold the fabric in hand and stitch from above, so you don't put the needle behind. I actually get very confused doing that, so I don't do that. So yeah, that's how far I have with that one. Look at this needle minder that I have. Isn't it great? I love cats. It's from Nuts About Needle Minders on Etsy. They're also on Instagram. I've noticed on Instagram actually they've got a new line coming out of sparkly things, so I'll be watching that closely. Now, there is a reason why I bought this one in particular. It's lovely actually. On the back has a button on the second magnet to make it easier to get on and off. You can request a button if you want one, or you could just have it normally. why I bought this was because I have carers, because I'm bedridden and I have the illness myalgic encephalomyelitis, or ME, or chronic fatigue syndrome as it's called. And how it's related to this is that when the carers come, particularly when I had the carers from an agency, I used to have lots of different girls, and it would be hard to put across my particular needs about my illness. So I drew a picture, and this was particularly for one carer. She has 8 cats, so I thought maybe they could relate to this, and her in particular. This is a cat I drew. Now, what this represents is my ME. And I describe my ME like an angry cat that is very volatile. It needs a calm, quiet, and consistent environment. Everything needs to be done gently and quietly around it so it doesn't lash out or scram or hiss, because when my ME gets upset because of changes in the environment or a lot of noise or whatever, it really kicks off and causes a lot of distress. So the idea is to keep my ME quiet and calm, do things which don't upset it in any way. Easier said than done, but it does make a difference. So I tell them to tiptoe round my cat, and they can actually relate to that. My aunt used to have a cat called Buttons, and it was miserable. But I loved it, but it was miserable, and you did need to keep your distance and just be careful around it. So that is why I saw this. Well, I saw this Needleminder and I thought, right, I have to have that, because that is my ME cat so much. It's like, what? I just love it. So that's the story behind that one. I absolutely love needle minders. I mean, who doesn't? Do you love needle minders? Aren't they brilliant? And here are some I've got from Maloka Designs. Can you see that? It's absolutely lovely. It's an elephant. It's so strong that scissors, it absolutely clings to it. Can hardly get them apart. It's just such a strong magnet. It's amazing. And in fact, the ones I've bought from Maloka Designs, all the magnets are really strong, which suits me well. I'm always losing needles in the bed, always. And yeah, it can be really quite dangerous. I sew as well, and I lose pins, which are even worse sometimes. Yeah, so I've got to be really careful, which means I need to buy lots of needle minders, don't I? Here's another one, little cat and cactus. You see that? Is it focused? And a dog. I've ordered the newer one. This is Maloka Designs on Etsy. They're also on Instagram, and there's a website. But one of the designers has produced a new needle miner, which I've pre-ordered, and it's a mandala giraffe, like this one, but a giraffe. So I'm looking forward to getting those. Save injuries in bed. Honestly, I put them down, or I drop them, and they're gone. They are gone, and never see them again until I feel them. But yeah, so I'm always on the lookout for more of needle minders. Okay, so I have this cross stitch kit, bought on Amazon, Joy Sunday. Now, I was told that Joy Sunday sell illegal or fake kits, as in they nick people's designs and then they sell them as their own, which of course is not a good thing. I don't know if I don't think they do it with all of their designs, but apparently they do it with some, which isn't something I support, of course. I have about 5 Joy Sunday kits, and I mean I bought them because I liked the picture, liked the kit. But I will say that looking at the reviews on some of these kits on Amazon, some people say that there's not enough thread and they run out of thread before they're finished. Well, I haven't completed a kit yet. I think I've got 2 on the go. But you either run out of thread, or something I've noticed is that the fabric is quite stingy and there's not a lot of fabric. There's not much margin around for framing or anything. I actually thought that perhaps they were kind of cheaper versions of patterns, of popular patterns. I didn't realise that they had some dodginess about them, although they, looking at the reviews, I didn't see any reviews saying they were fake, but I did see one saying that they weren't all that brilliant as kits. I mean, one of them as well, actually, that I'm doing, the colours were wrong. They'd put the colours on the the piece of card which had all the colours on. They'd put it on wrong, and I had to take them off and re-add them whilst I added the symbols, just so that they were right. So I won't be buying any more of those. I'll obviously do the ones I have, because there's no reason not to, but I won't be buying any more. I have actually moved to Etsy for buying patterns and kits, which is much better. And it's nice that Amazon is great. I use Amazon a lot for most things because it's convenient, it's quick delivery, and I can't get out to the shops basically. So to buy online is really helpful for me, and it's an easy site to use. But with something like Etsy, you get a more personal thing. It's like if you buy something, you might get a message from the seller, or they appreciate it, don't they? From what I've bought so far, I've bought a few patterns, and yeah, they're quite sort of appreciative and nice, and you don't get that with Amazon buys. I know I buy sounds and music from Bandcamp, and again with Bandcamp you get a little message saying, oh, thanks so much for buying my stuff. And one message I'd bought like a complete set of these sounds that this guy had recorded, and he was like, oh, you've made my day. And it's nice to make somebody's day just by buying their stuff. So that's what I'd rather do. For things like this, I would rather buy them straight from the people themselves than go through somewhere like Amazon. So yeah, but however, this is a lovely kit. But look at all that back stitching. So what is it about back stitching? I'm just not very good at it, that's why. But yeah, that's pretty, isn't it? And I have a matching one of another lady. She's actually hanging on my door at the moment. It's like, yeah, I want to dress like that, and I want to stand like that with a bird cage for no apparent reason. Yeah, she's nice, isn't she? So I will be doing this kit, but I won't be buying from Joy Sunday anymore. A new kit from Maloka Designs on Etsy and Instagram. Floral cat. How could I resist? I love cats. Isn't it pretty? Really nice kit. So another one to add to the pile of kits that I'm gonna do. Here's another kit I have, which I bought recently. It's, if I get the glare off, it's done by Lesley Designs, and it's from the Bayeux Tapestry. Now, I went to see the Bayeux Tapestry years ago in my 20s, and oh, it's fabulous, in Normandy in France, northern France of course. And oh, I just loved it. It's huge and so detailed, and I love the style of it. So I actually saw this kit. It was on Amazon actually, and I was really tempted, but I thought, you know what, I could probably do my own. When I went to the Bayeux Tapestry, I always used to take a notebook with me, like a sketchbook, so wherever I went I could perhaps draw a little picture, and I drew some images from the Bayeux Tapestry, and I thought I could use those to make up my own design. But then I saw this on Etsy and it was cheaper than on Amazon, so I bought this one because I don't know, I can't get it that good. That's lovely, but I love the colours. But what I might do, I might make this into a pair and do another one. But I love the shibs that they have on the Bayo tapestry, so I shall probably try and design one of those and have it matching to this one. So best of both worlds then. My own design and somebody else's, which is actually probably a lot better, but isn't that lovely? I just love it. I love quirky, weird stuff. And look, it's legs, different colours, and I just think it's a lovely design. And there are quite a few around, actually. There are quite a few Bayo mock-ups, if that's the right word to use. But yeah, that's really lovely, and I'm going to enjoy doing that. It's what is it? 14 count Ada. So obviously it has all the threads and what have yous with it, and it's fabulous. So I have been buying PDF patterns, and how addictive is buying patterns. It's just so easy to fill your basket, and Etsy, I installed the app, and it's like kid in a sweet shop. All these fantastic patterns at such good prices, especially when they are reduced. It's like, oh, £2, 11 pence, shove it in the basket. And yeah, I kind of filled the basket quite a lot, and I ended up with 21 patterns. Actually, my PDF pattern collections now stands at 25, which yeah, that's quite a lot of money when you're spending it all at once. It got to a point where I uninstalled the app because I had no control. That sounds terrible, doesn't it? But no, I uninstalled the app, but I have actually since reinstalled it, and I haven't bought any more. But yeah, I had a nice time shopping on these wonderful patterns. The thing is, you put something in your basket or in your wish list, and then the seller comes on and says to you, I can reduce that for you, or I can give you a special discount. It's like, oh, go on then. It would be rude not to, wouldn't it, really, you know? But yeah, these wonderful things. And some of the patterns I bought, I thought I'd show you some of them because I really like them. This is my kind of taste. So here's one I bought from, what was it from? I can't remember. Oh My Stitches on Etsy. And it's water. And I bought this because water is my favourite thing. I have a favourite thing, and water is what it is. I just love water. I love the touch of it, the look of it, the taste of it. I love the sound of it. I have so many water sounds of rain and snow and ice, and I even have a recording of a frozen lake in Croatia. Oh, it's amazing, amazing recording. You can hear this deep cracking and thunderous crumbling noises. It's fantastic. I have recordings from inside ponds or under the water, and yeah, great. I love anything watery, wintry, bad weathery, stormy seas. Years ago, on a really stormy, wet day, my husband, we either used to go for little walks or we used to drive to the coast and just watch the amazing, amazing waves. I just love water. So that's my watery one, and actually from the same shop, Oh My Stitches, I also got this one when it loads, when my phone decides to load, which is a nice black hole one. I absolutely love the NASA images on Heaven and Earth Designs, and I when there was the sale recently, 50% off, and I didn't buy any. Stupid of me, because I kick myself every day. But yeah, I'd love to do those. I love NASA images, love space, planets, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's another one I got from Oh My Stitches, and one more I got from there, which I had to get because you buy 3 and you get a percentage off, don't you? So I had to buy a third, which of course is a cat. I mean, cats have to be bought, don't they? So yeah, that's some of my collection. Here's another Etsy pattern. Look, it's me, Gollum. Skinny legs and big feet, yeah? About right? Yeah. I love Lord of the Rings. I love Tolkien books, Middle-earth. I started reading Lord of the Rings when I was 11, and I've read it 13 times since. And that's Gollum from Lord of the Rings. This one was from Happy Little Mouse on Etsy. I got this one as well for Lord of the Rings themed. Do you know, it reminds me of the Lord of the Rings game that came out years ago. Does anyone remember the ZX Spectrum 48K, I think it was, the computer? That little keyboard with the little rubber keys. And we had I think it was the Lord of the Rings game. And it was so, like, the graphics were so basic. It was just, well, hilarious to look back at it now, but it was brilliant, and that reminds me of it really. But I do actually think that's a book cover. But yeah, there's that one. That one was from JBV Stitches on Etsy. And there's this one as well, Mordor, and this was from Cross Stitch World Art on Etsy. I love that. I think it's really good. So yeah, any fantasy type, Lord of the Ringsy type thing, I really love them. So those are a few more that I have. Look at this fantastic pattern I got on Etsy. It's by Solar Stitch. Isn't that great? I know it's weird, but I do like weird. Industrial. I love industrial images. I don't know why, I found them really restful. Just urbex type things, urbex as in abandoned buildings, abandoned factories. I have the most fabulous recording of recordings from a abandoned cement works on the Russian and Chinese border. It's brilliant. Some guy went out there and recorded the sounds, and they're just fabulous. I love pipes, steam, all that really weird stuff. But I can't be the only one, because somebody's done a pattern of it. So yeah, that's something else I can't wait to get started on. It's just a small little pattern on Etsy. Yeah, I can't wait to get stitching that one. Okay, I want to show you this. Now, this is a picture I have done that I made myself out of fabric picture, Steampunk design. It says, don't watch the clock, do what it does, keep going. So it's a kind of inspirational type picture that I like to have around just to keep me going. And it also says there, I can't imagine how the clockwork of the universe can exist without a clockmaker. But look at the fantastic little things on it. Look at those little keys, aren't they just gorgeous? And these cogs and nuts and bolts, and all. Also, I love steampunk. I think it's a brilliant notion. I kind of embroidered badly this bird on the front, this clockwork bird. So what I want to do, okay, to make it cross stitchy, I would like to cross stitch this section here, my little clockwork bird, and somehow use, I don't know, either fix these to them as well, these cogs, or I don't know, perhaps a sort of mixed media type thing similar to this, but including cross stitch. I also have, can you see, I've used stamps. I like stamps, inked stamps, you know. So I thought perhaps I could include that, actually stamp onto the Ada. Has anyone done that, you know? I do have a kit which has a coloured background, stamped background, but I thought I'd try that myself, just because I like steampunk. I like to add it to my craft that I'm doing. I also love steampunk sounds, because I collect sounds, and yeah, cogs and nuts and bolts and steam and industrial sounds and mechanical sounds. I even like the band Coppelius, the steampunk band. Have you heard of them? Coppelius, they are brilliant, worth checking out. They are a German heavy metal band and they use classical instruments. And yeah, they're just brilliant. I love them. Anyway, that's the plan for this anyway. I've got so many plans, so many things that I want to do but never will get around to do them. So yeah, that's what I hope to do at some point. Well, I think that's about everything for this floss tube, and I shall hopefully have another one coming. I mean, I've managed 3, which is quite a big deal. As for me, it's been 4 weeks just over since the house fire we had. That was covered in the last video. And Nigel and I, we had some really poorly days afterwards with our ME. It kind of hit us like a ton of bricks. ME does not like big exertion or events like that are scary, and well, we were quite ill afterwards. However, the last few days I've picked up a little bit, although saying that, I've really hurt my back. I don't know what I did, but I pulled a muscle and now I have sciatica down both legs, which is not helping at the moment. So hopefully I can sort that out at some point. So yeah, all the people I mentioned I shall link down below, including Etsy, the Etsy people I bought from, and Teresa Little Stitcher, and on Bandcamp as well, those sounds that I linked to those sounds, the cement works and the frozen lake. And I'll put a link for Coppelius as well. You have to check them out. They are such fun. They're really fun band. So yeah, so thank you very much for watching this, and happy stitching, and I shall hopefully see you in floss tube number 4.